All right, this is going to be the daily recap for our morning show, and then we did a little bit of trading also in our live trading room. These are my picks today. Once again, being a Thursday, like I had mentioned, I tend to get a little bit more aggressive on Thursdays. For some reason, Thursdays tend to be one of my better days, and today was no exception to that. So, first of all, we had a trade on the gold. All right, so we had a buy on the gold. We had a buy pattern setting up. This particular pattern, I believe, was an HF3, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was an HF3 buy, which came in at 1975.80. Now, this is based off a pattern, so this was a particular pattern. HF3 is the name of the pattern. Came in as a buy, went ahead and I bought it at 1975.80. And once it hit target, I went ahead and got out at 1978, picked up 219 on that. That was it for gold for the day. Let's see here. Let's take a look at one of these indices here and see how we did. All right, this is going to be the mini Russell. So we had a couple trades here. So first trade is we had a buy coming in. Hit our entry point at 1754.40. Once again, another pattern setting up here, so that's why we bought it. One of the things I want to mention is you're not going to see, there's not a whole lot to really discuss in terms of analysis, because it's quite simple. I have several patterns that I look at. Einstein gives me the levels, and that's pretty much it. So it's a very, very simple process. So there's really not a whole lot of analysis for me to go into. Simply because my process is really very simple. I call it a very simplified way of trading, because I only use two tools. One is patterns. I've had a total of 4 to 5 patterns that I use, and I wait for those setups to give me a buy or sell, and then I come in and I use something called Einstein. It's a formula that provides me with price levels. Once again, you've heard me say that this has nothing to do, these patterns have nothing to do with your classical chart patterns. No, I'm not looking at head and shoulders, and I'm also not using support and resistance. These lines have nothing to do with, these targets have nothing to do with support and resistance. They're not Fibonacci, they're not Gann. This is a very unique formula that was designed back in the 80s. And also these patterns were found back in the 80s, so these patterns are universal in the sense that I can use them with any market I decide to trade, as well as Einstein. Okay, so it simplifies the process of trading. Like I've always said, if you can simplify trading, more likely you're going to be successful, and you're going to be able to stick to it. Okay, because you're going to lower your stress level, because you don't have to make so many decisions when it comes to pulling the trigger. All right, so that's why I like this method, and that's all this is a demonstration of my method. And so finally on RTY, I did also trade the E-mini S&P, made a little bit on that, but RTY was my nice one. Once again, one of my favorites is going to be that mini Russell RTY. So we had a buy entry at 1754.40. Did hit my profit. I went ahead and I got out of that first buy. Let's see, got out at 1759.50. 1759.50. Then later on, I did also get a sell, so I took a sell. I had a sell entry at 1763.40. 1763.40. And I had a target down here, and once it hit my target, I went ahead and I exited on that. And I bought that at 1761.40. So that was it for the Russell. It for the indices and the commodities, and so total for that was 1,122. And let's take a look at the stocks now and see how we ended up with our stock trades this morning. All right, so we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 5 different stocks that we traded today. Let's go through the biggest loss, and then we'll take a look at the biggest win. RIOT. Okay, so RIOT, just as with the DHHC, I ordered late in the day. I went and entered in. Let's see, I think it was around 145, somewhere around 145. Went ahead and I bought it at 947. Now I had some targets up here. Obviously, you can see it hit the targets. Why I didn't get out, to be quite honest with you, I think I just I felt that maybe we were going to go 2 more levels. Once again, I do get a little bit more aggressive on Thursdays, and so that's a two-edged sword when you get aggressive, right? Sometimes you're gonna be right, you're gonna hit the home run, and sometimes you're not gonna hit the home run. So I was really looking to hit these 2 additional levels. So I held on to it, obviously a little bit too long, and I actually didn't get out. 13:45, I didn't get out until it was like 15, 20 minutes later. Unfortunately, took a loss on that. You can see, had I just held on a little bit longer, it would have come up. But you know what? I already had a really good day on DHHC. I didn't want to take any additional risk. I mean, I would have had to gone through another really nice dip here, which I don't think I would have even helped through that. But I went ahead and I got out down here at, 921. So obviously a 20 cent or so loss on RIOT. But I also at the same time had DHHC. Now, I don't know if you remember this morning, but DHHC had a huge run. It was locking up. They were halting it. I think it had 4 or 5 halts. I personally didn't pull that much out of what a lot of people do. I know some of my friends pulled out, they were pulling out $6,000. One, I understand, even made as much as $27,000. Just one trade, $27,000. Obviously, that would have been a nice trade, but that's not, I didn't catch it early enough. But I did come in later on in the day because I liked some of the patterns that were setting up. It looked like it was going to push up again, maybe not take out the highs, but it certainly, and that was the case. So let's take a look at that real quick. DHHC. All right, here is my beautiful DHHC trade today. Once again, didn't pull as much out as some, but hey, I got a really nice piece of it. So I entered in, it was around 153, almost right before 2 o'clock. This is Eastern time. Bought it at 21.59. I did have several targets up here. I believe this was target number 2. So once we hit this spike, once it took off and it hit this spike right here, I didn't even wait for it to come back down. It was hitting. I went ahead and I exited. I did not ride it up here and then get out. I went ahead and once we had that big burst, I went ahead and I took my profit at 23.60. Obviously very aggressive on it. And that's how I ended up making the 44.11. So for the day there, you know, what do we have? 33.86. So 4,400 for the day. Hey guys, that's not a bad day. So anyway, once again, the process that I use is very, very simple. I have 4 different patterns that I look at, and then in combination with Einstein, I go ahead and I get my levels where I want to get in, get out. You don't need Einstein. I mean, the patterns within themselves will give you an indication of when to get in, and then you can use whatever you want to get out. But I like Einstein because it gives me very specific targets. But more important than that, I have probabilities. I know what my probabilities are, and I'm a big believer when it comes to trading. You kind of have to know your probabilities on whether you're going to get stopped out or whether you're going to hit your target. My probabilities run over 70% that I'm going to hit these targets before I may come in and hit a stop. So anyway, all my probabilities are already set, and it's very simple. I just use 2 tools, and these tools have worked over the last 35 years of my 40-year trading career. So, you know, it's something. This is all that I need. I call it very simple. It's a very simple process, and I can teach this to you too. But I will tell you one thing. I am teaching Einstein right now, along with the patterns Einstein will eventually be going away. I'll be put that back into the safe and locked up. It will no longer be available. So if you're interested not only in the patterns or Einstein, this is the time to get in, folks. If you have questions, you can get a hold of me via my website, innovatortradingstrategies.com. If you'd like to see how it works, that's why I do a show every morning. You have a live show every morning where you can watch me call these trades out, watch me trade with the patterns, watch me trade with my Einstein levels. There's no better way of seeing whether something is going to work or not than to see it live in action, okay? Not just print out the results at the end of the day and say, this is what I did. watching it in action is going to be what is going to be the factor whether you decide you want to go with something like this or not. Once again, keep in mind, trading always is risky. Never trade with money you can't afford to lose. And don't just blindly follow me or anybody else when it comes to trading. The key to trading is you must learn to not only have good tools, but you must learn how to use those tools. And like anything else, it does take time. So just be patient with yourself. Also, we do have the Discord channel that should be rolling out pretty soon. If you're interested in that, there's going to be a lot of good stuff. You don't have to be a member. I mean, you can be a member, but you don't have to be a private member in order to have access to it. So we're going to have a lot of free information out there. It can be stuff on, we're going to have book recommendations. We're going to have a lot of good resources. We're going to have some really good articles on the psychology of trading, which is probably 80-90% of this business is the psychological factor. So, and also you're going to be able to interact with other traders, and we will be throwing out some of these trades, not only in the morning, but during the day. We'll throw out some really nice setups as they develop. So a lot of good stuff, and it's going to be free to help everybody kind of get on their feet, get started doing some, doing some trading. All we can do is I can give you what I see setting up. We are not and will not be a signal provider, but I can certainly tell you what I'm looking at and what I want to do. And then you want to do your own analysis. You want to look at it as well, and then do your own analysis and decide whether it makes sense to you or not, okay? But once again, we're not trying to give any kind of financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and nor will I give my trades out and say this is what you should do. I can only share with what I am doing. It's up to you to learn the process on your own. All right. That being said, make sure you go to my website, innovative trading strategies.com. Let me know you want to be added to the Discord. We'll go ahead and we'll send you an invite, and we'll get you all set up on that. And that's it. I'll be trading tonight. I'm going to come back tonight, probably do a little bit of trading in the currencies. I love night trading, so I'll probably be trading. Probably watching the Euro US, probably watching the US Yen, maybe the Aussie US. Those are usually my three favorites, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Maybe do a little bit of trading on the Forex tonight. And besides that, we'll be back one more time tomorrow to end the week. So watch for our live show in the morning, and we'll start all over again. And, hopefully we'll have another really good day on Friday. Once again, Fridays can be really questionable, so in the morning is absolutely going to be the best opportunity, so make sure you join us. Those first couple hours of the day is really the key time to be trading, and then particularly on a Friday, it really starts to die off. And even power hour at the end of the day is usually not something I want to get involved in on a Friday. All right, so that's it. Everybody have a good day. Any questions? Hit my website. Check out my YouTube channel, Innovative Trading Strategies, and everybody have a really nice day. Take care.